class, and welcome again to another day of adjectives. Yesterday we were discussing adjective participles and how they are used. A participle is a verbal, and a verbal is a word that looks like a verb but is not the verb of the sentence. Now, participles are verbals that are used as adjectives. They end in ing, ed, or en. So if you have a word that looks like a verb, but it's not the main verb of your sentence, ends in ing, ed, or en, and it modifies a noun or a pronoun, then you have a participle. We also looked at participial phrases and how the entire phrase of words goes together with the participle and how it will complement the participle. Just like in a regular sentence with a verb, how it will have its own complement, a noun as a direct object, an indirect object, or even predicate nominative or predicate adjectives if you have a linking verb. Same thing with participles. In its own phrase, it acts like a verb, and it can be either action or linking, and you can tell after that. Ask the questions. If it's linking, it's going to have a predicate nominative or predicate adjective following it. If it's an action verb, it will have direct objects and possibly indirect objects along with it. So always take apart your participial phrases. Now, today we are going to be diagramming participle phrases, or really just diagramming any adjective phrase. So the two kinds of phrases we looked at so far are prepositional phrases and participial phrases. Now, they're both diagrammed similar, but not completely the same. So they will go, just like regular adjectives, they will go underneath the word they modify. Remember when we did diagram of adjectives before? We had our line, our subject, our verb, and maybe you have a predicate nominative. Oops, that wouldn't be a predicate nominative, that would be a direct object because we have a straight line. See, get rid of the glare. All right, subject, verb, direct object. Your adjective is going to go underneath, directly underneath the word that it modifies. Maybe it's modifying the subject. It will go right under there. Maybe it's modifying the direct object. It will go under there like so. Same thing with adjective phrases. They're going to go underneath the word that they modify. Now, for prepositional phrases, how you're going to diagram them. You're going to have your line. Say you have a prepositional phrase that's modifying the subject. You're going to do your diagonal line, and you're going to do a straight line. Make sure you have that broken piece hanging out. You must have that for prepositional phrases. Must have that for prepositional phrases. If you don't have that, if you do just a bend, then you're going to, then it will be a broken line. So you're going to have a preposition. Your preposition will go on the diagonal line. So say in the box. The word in will go there. Your object will go on the straight line. So your preposition goes on the slanted line. Your object goes on the straight line. Now, if you have any adjectives modifying your object, they're obviously going to go right here. Adjectives such as the, a, and. Your articles are always adjectives. The big red box, in the big red box. So you would have in here, box here, the, and red right there. So that's how you will do your prepositional phrases. Remember, prepositional phrase used as an adjective will go underneath the word that it modifies. It will go underneath the word that it modifies on the broken line. Always remember that broken line. Your prep goes here, and your object of your preposition goes right there. Any modifiers go underneath your object. All right, so that's how you diagram a prepositional phrase. What happens if your prepositional phrase is compound? What if it has more than one object? Well, that's pretty simple. You're going to have your slanted line, start your line, and then you're going to build your rocket ship. You're going to build your rocket ship going off. And so your two objects will go like so. Don't forget whatever coordinating conjunction that you have, and your preposition will go on the line, just like normal. Your objects coordinating conjunction, typically it's and then the actual preposition word right there. So that's if you have a compound prepositional phrase, compound object of the preposition. All right, now the next thing that we were looking at, the next kind of phrase, are the participial phrases, participles, or even the participial phrases. How do you diagram those? Same way as you do any other adjectives, you put them underneath the word that they modify. All right, so let's take a look again. Here we have our subject, our verb, and our direct object. All right, participial phrases, how do we do it? Let's see. You're going to do the bent diagonal line and then bend it. Do you see how it's not broken? Now it just looks like an elbow. This is why it's important to have the broken line before, because only participles use this. So you need to have the bend in the elbow, just like so. Now, we write our words in a very specific way when we do participles. If you're on page 147, which is what we are at today, there's examples right there for you to look at if you can't see Mrs. Collins' board very clearly. Whoops. So, let's see how you're going to write it. You're going to write your participle sort of like that. You're going to do it sort of like a smiley face. It's not going to actually sit on the line. You're going to bend your word. Let's say it's laughing. Let's say your word is laughing, okay? Aughing. That's how you would do it. You bend it sort of like a smile. It shows you in your book right there. That's how you would do it. Now, if you have your modifiers and different things like that, say laughing is your verb. Say you have a direct object after it, you would do it like a direct object. Maybe the word isn't laughing. Maybe whatever the word is, it's a linking verb, okay? So, being. All right, we're going to have being is your word. So then you're going to have a predicate nominative or predicate adjective with the slanted line. Do you see how that works? Just the same way. Any modifiers, again, will go underneath like so. Let me think. I think that's about it. You're going to be doing page 147. You're going to be doing page 147, and after you complete page 147, you're going to be taking a quiz. I have uploaded onto my schoolworks a couple of sentences that you need to diagram. Diagram these sentences on a piece of paper, take a photo of it, and send it to me when you are complete, and then I will give you a grade. You can earn bonus points on your quiz by showing me how creative you can be in having fun with your diagramming. I always call diagramming art class with English. So use colored pencils, be creative. You know how Mrs. Collins will draw the floating island in the sky for direct address or any of those types of things. Here, let me see. Let me give you an example. All right, so I have my, whoops, it came back. It shouldn't have come back. Clear ink. There we go. So I have my blank board. I'm going to be diagramming. So la 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 la, I have my subject, I got my verb, I have my direct object. Maybe I have a noun of direct address. So I'm going to have a floating island in the sky. So my island is a mountain. It's an island, so it's got dirt underneath of it too. And I've got waterfalls coming off of my island and clouds above it and stuff like that. Be fanciful, be creative. Maybe you've got something compound, you can use rocket ships. However you want to do it, be creative, but your diagram itself must still look correct, and I must be able to read it, and everything must be in its correct place. But you will get bonus points for being creative, so send in your work, have fun with your grammar. That's what you should be doing, is having lots of fun with it. All right, you have a study guide on My School Works for your literature. We are done with the unit. So on Monday, we are going to be having a test over Unit 10. So I've uploaded a study guide for you to use to answer the questions, to go back through your book. If you highlighted things, it shouldn't be very hard for you. But if you didn't do the work the first time, sorry, but you're gonna have a tougher time completing this study guide. Don't just study the things that are on the study guide. Make sure to be studying the things that you highlighted, because not everything that is on the test will be on the study guide. It's more of a reference for the types of things that you should be studying. So, basic grammar, do your diagramming quiz, and then start to work on your study guide. We're going to be working on it for the next couple of days, so you don't have to get it all done today. Have a great day, class.